This week, 12 News caught up with the State Fire Marshal's office to see exactly how their investigative unit works. It's a grueling process, and there are only a few marshals to handle the workload for the entire state. Joe Cortez takes an in-depth look into the Fire Marshal's investigation process.
The investigation unit for the State Fire Marshal's office consists of 4 investigators and the acting chief deputy. On any given day, they could be at 4 to 5 different fires, and it's not an easy task. There's a systematic approach the investigators take and a furry friend that helps them along the way. Today, we're taking a look at their work to determine how, what, and possibly who could have started the fires. You've heard the age-old saying.
The cause of this fire is under investigation.
Chief tells us it is under investigation by the State Fire Marshal.
The cause of this fire remains under investigation.
So what exactly does that entail?
A fire investigation is very much like a scientific experiment. If you think back to, high school science, you're doing experiments trying to prove something. We're doing just the opposite. The hypotheses we come up with, we do everything we can to disprove them until we can't.
With years of experience, Chief Deputy Given has seen it all, but the process is not as cut and dry as you may think.
The training involved with the investigators is pretty extensive. It's ongoing continuing education. We're training all the time. One of the biggest things is you have to be an investigator for at least 4 years.
Local departments are the first on scene, and through their request, the Fire Marshal Investigation Unit gets called in. The first step is to isolate the area where the fire ignited and begin an extensive report on their findings. Given says it's a lot of manual work sifting through what's left of the area, but a new piece of technology called Faro is helping provide more detail.
So this allows us to actually laser scan the entire scene, and we can produce walkthrough videos. We can actually take you through and see exactly what our investigators saw.
With the use of Faro and aerial drones, the report could have anywhere from 150 to 200 photos per scene. But from new technology to the old senses, Canine Dream is also a part of the process.
So Dream lives with me. She's with me almost 24/7. But then every morning she's up before I am and she's ready to go to work. She doesn't like days off.
She was trained 3 years ago at one of the oldest accelerated detection programs in the country.
And she's trained on about 25 different ignitable liquids that are commonly used to start fires. And that can be anything from gasoline, which is the very popular one, to the lesser known things like acetone and lacquer thinners.
Dream's ability to sniff out these ignitable liquids gives the investigators another edge in determining whether the fire is a suspected criminal act. When she finds what she's looking for, she'll alert Handler Burns and retain her position.
And it's what's called a passive alert. So these dogs are not aggressive with their alerts. It's one reason we use the Labrador Retrievers. The reason being is we don't want them to damage any evidence, and we don't want them to hurt themselves either in a potentially unstable fire scene.
The samples collected are sent to the State Crime Lab at WPRI, where they'll be analyzed and added to the investigators' findings.
We'll have 3, 4 fires, 5 fires in a day. On an average, we're probably out 30 times a month, so we're almost out daily.
Deputy Chief Given tells us each investigator is either working towards or already is obtained on getting the highest level of certification from the International Association of Arson Investigators. And for more information on this story, just head over to our website, WPRI.com. Reporting in the newsroom, Joe Cortez, 12 News.